state of mankind. How much do you know? Excerpts from How the Specter of Communism is Ruling Our World. 15. Throughout human history, great sages taught sentient beings the way to enlightenment and laid the foundations of the world's civilizations. Jesus Christ established the bedrock of Christian civilization, and Laozi's wisdom is the foundation of Taoism, a central pillar of Chinese philosophy. In ancient India, Shakyamuni's teachings led to Buddhism. The origins of their wisdom is a wonder. Jesus was virtually illiterate. While the other sages may have been well-read, they obtained their insights from enlightenment and cultivation, not from ordinary studies. Marx's theories reference the work of previous intellectuals, but ultimately originated from the evil Specter. He wrote in the poem on Hegel, "Since I have found the highest of things and the depths of them also, rude am I as a god, cloaked by the dark like a god." By the Specter's arrangement, Marx entered the human world and established the cult of communism to corrupt human morality, with the intention that mankind would turn on gods and doom themselves to eternal torment in hell. The devil used lies and indoctrination to infect popular movements with communist ideology. More and more people accepted its ideology. By 1914, there were close to 30 global and local socialist organizations, and countless more trade unions and cooperatives. At the outbreak of World War I, there were more than 10 million union members and more than 7 million cooperative members. In How to Change the World, Reflections on Marx and Marxism, historian Eric Hobsbawm wrote, "In these European countries, virtually all social thought, whether or not politically motivated like the socialist movement or labor movement, are visibly influenced by Marx." At the same time, communism began to spread to Russia and the East via Europe. From 1886 to 1890, Lenin studied Das Kapital, prior to which he had begun translating the Communist Manifesto into Russian. Lenin was imprisoned and later exiled. At the start of World War I, he was living in Western Europe. World War I led to the triumph of communism in Russia. At the time of the 1917 revolution that toppled Tsar Nicholas II, Lenin was in Switzerland. Half a year later, he was back in Russia and seized power in the October Revolution. Russia was a nation with ancient traditions, a vast population, and abundant natural resources. The establishment of the Soviet regime on the territory of the world's largest country was a huge boon for the world communist movement. Just as World War I assisted the rise of the Russian communists, World War II prompted the communist movement to proliferate across Eurasia and swallow up China. Stalin said, "This war is not as in the past, whoever occupies a territory also imposes on it his own social system." After World War II, the Soviet Union became a superpower armed with nuclear weapons, and it manipulated world affairs to promote communism throughout the world. Winston Churchill said, "A shadow has fallen upon the scenes so lately lighted by the Allied victory. Nobody knows what Soviet Russia and its Communist International Organization intends to do in the immediate future, or what are the limits, if any, to their expansive and proselytizing tendencies." During the Cold War, the free world engaged in a fierce confrontation with the communist camp that spread across 4 continents. Like a Taoist Taiji symbol, one half was cold communism and the other was hot communism. The nations of the free world, democratic in form, slowly turned socialist in essence.